introduce this next group, and I'm very excited about this. And I guess the simplest terminology I can come up with is, what role does technology play in this overall concept of improving health, improving well-being? And with that, we've got two speakers together. I'll be handing the mic over to Christina Mavilla. She's the Chief Human Resource here. It's time. We've had benefit folks, we have professionals, we have specialists, we have speakers and physicians. It's time to hear from the Human Resource Office at that level, and thank you very much for being here. And we have Niraj Jetley, who's from Nutrisavings, and I'll be really excited to hear about that. His background is steeped in technology advances and innovation, so together we hope to hear a really compelling, interesting story. I welcome you to the stage.
Well, good afternoon, everyone. I'm really excited to be here today to talk to you a little bit about Shields, our journey through wellness, because we've been on this path for about 10 years at Shields, and we've taken a lot of different approaches, so hopefully you can learn from what we've done to bring peace back to your own companies. First, I'll tell you a little bit about Shields. Hopefully you've heard of us. We're the official MRI provider for the Patriots, Bruins, Celtics, and Revolution. So that, no, not the Red Sox. Yes, they are too. Maybe someday. And we're a family-owned company as well. I was interested to hear some of the other companies being family-owned. We are a family-owned company as well. Tom and Mary Shields founded our company almost 30 years ago, really with the mantra of treat every patient as you would treat your mother. And that's what we still go by today, and how we strive to run our business every day, is by treating our patients the best. We currently treat 1 in every 3 patients in Massachusetts who need an MRI. We have 29 MRI locations throughout Massachusetts. We actually have 1 now in New Hampshire as well. We have 9 PET CT locations, and we have 2 radiation oncology centers where we do radiation treatment for cancer patients. So almost 40 locations throughout mainly Massachusetts. So you can imagine rolling out any employee program is very difficult. Some of those locations have 4 people. Some of them have 100. So it's really difficult when you try to get the same message to everyone with not only wellness but benefits and policy in general. So that's a challenge, and I'm excited to talk about how Nutrisavings helps us with that. And we actually are built on partnerships. We have 16 hospital partners, so sometimes we're a Shields MRI location alone, sometimes we are in a hospital and you don't even know it's us. We have 4 professional sports partnerships that I mentioned, and we actually partner with over 100 companies in Massachusetts as well through our Simply Save program, where we help self-insured companies save some money on their benefits. So really built on partnerships, which is why I'm excited here to talk about a new partnership that we have with Nutrisavings. So wellness at Shields. Again, this started quite a few years ago. We've always had engagement from senior leadership, which is wonderful. They're a family-owned company. They want to do whatever makes sense for their employees, which is really great. What we haven't had is really a budget or a dedicated person who has a wellness background. I am not an exercise enthusiast like some of the other speakers. I don't know a lot about wellness, but we've tried to partner with the right people who do know that, so that we can bring that expertise in-house. But we launched in about 2008. We launched kind of our first try at wellness, and it was purely a walking program. We gave everyone an old-fashioned pedometer, and they logged their numbers into a little program that our IT department built, and it was Road to the Super Bowl, and we walked from Boston to the Super Bowl that I think was in Miami that year, or New Orleans, and employees loved it. The engagement was incredibly high. They really thought it was fun. We competed against each other center to center. We gave a lot of gifts out and rewarded people. We didn't, unfortunately, see great results. What we found from it is that the healthy people were really engaged and loved it. But the people who weren't exercising were so overwhelmed by the steps that the other people were entering that they weren't really taking that step to entering their own steps and being engaged in the program. And a lot of that was because of the way we ran it. We focused on the people who had the best steps. We didn't focus necessarily on improvement in steps. So that was a good lesson learned for us. And we didn't see any results on healthcare spend. So the 2 things we're always looking for as a company are engagement and health of our employees. Number 1 as a goal of wellness, but number 2, we are a company, we're looking for some savings on healthcare spend as well. And unfortunately, we didn't see any results in that program. But we we took some pieces that people liked and we moved forward, trying to find what the winning strategy at Shields would be. And we partnered with Tufts and some other outside resources to give people more information, more webinars, more on what was meaningful to them. So whether it was wellness or exercise or mental health, we tried to give them self-paced learning that they could do on their own or at work. We really focused a lot on smoking cessation and giving everyone in their families who smoke programs year after year to try to help them with that problem. We gave a lot of rewards. We started to tie our HSA contribution to participation in our wellness program. So we gave some of them, we've always given a healthy HSA contribution at Shields. We started taking a portion of that, saying, all right, you don't get it in January, now you have to do these things to get it. So it was kind of our first step into tying wellness to benefits. We did see some positive improvements as far as healthcare spend is concerned. Employees weren't as excited about it as they were about the walking program. So again, we took what we learned from that portion, and we're now in kind of 2014 and onwards where we're trying to create a fun, interactive environment in our wellness plan, but also seeing the good results on the healthcare spend. And just a quick graph showing this is our per member per month healthcare spend from 2007 on. You can see since 2011 it's been pretty flat, and you know that's unheard of nowadays. Most people are seeing a trend going up, and we're really happy in this. It's not all due to wellness, but we really feel very strongly that if we hadn't gone down this wellness path at Shields, that we wouldn't see these results, because we are focusing more on our employees than ever before. Not only healthcare spend, we're also seeing a really positive outcome of our time off policy, much less unplanned time off than ever before, which we're excited about. The new law or mass probably will change that, but we're really happy about where we've come so far and the changes that we're making. People talk a lot about the carrot and the stick, and it's such a hard thing for HR professionals because you feel like if you go with the carrot approach that you're not being strong enough. You feel like if you go with the stick approach, you're being too hard, which is why I love this cartoon. But we really needed to merge those two things together. We had to make some plan design changes. We had to have some really interactive, engaging programs to get us to the point where our employees felt better about themselves, felt like we were investing in them, but also so we could see the savings. So we took data from our PHA, our biometrics, and our claims, and we put those all together to really see what we had to focus on as a company. And like most of you, it was nutrition and mental health. Those were the key areas that we really saw as needing a good amount of our attention. Physical activity absolutely was there as well, but we do a lot around physical activity already. We were not touching nutrition, and we were not touching mental health in a meaningful way. So those are the two areas that we knew we had to focus on, and that we also knew we didn't know how to do internal. We had to look outside because we couldn't do that on our own. We also felt our group was ready for more of an outcomes-based program. We've been doing wellness since 2008. They were ready for us not to just give them money up front without having to achieve something. And pairing that with activity-based as well. So that is why we were so excited for our partnership with Nutrisavings, because they were able to get us to the next level when it came to expertise in nutrition. But not just the webinar that everyone had seen before. They were able to do it with new technology that people found fun and exciting. And I'll talk a little bit about what incentives we offer surrounding Nutrisavings. And then Niraj will talk more about the program itself and what it can do for employees and employers. But what we do is we have kind of a tiered approach. We've always had a high deductible plan for, I've been there almost 15 years, so this isn't new to us or our employees. But we do give incentives surrounding Nutrisavings, as well as other parts of our wellness program have their own incentives. For Nutrisavings, we really, at first, step one was just to get people on the technology and shopping. So the first part of it was just log in, register one loyalty card to Stop and Shop or wherever you shop every day or every week, and purchase one basket. So go food shopping once in a 90-day period, and you would get kind of the upfront contribution. And that was kind of enough to get people hooked so that they could get their report, see what they purchased, see what alternatives were available to them. And now, every month, as long as they keep an average score of 50, they will get an additional contribution. So for a family plan, that's an extra $40 a month in your HSA just for food shopping and getting a score of 50, which isn't that difficult to get. Most of our families can achieve that with making some minor changes, which you'll see under some videos in a minute. But our goal is to, again, raise that, in the next year to come and try to get people to continue to get better and better in the way that they're purchasing their food for them and their families. So now I'm going to turn it over to Niraj, who's going to talk more about the program itself.
Thank you, Christine. Before we proceed any further, I'd like to have a quick show of hands. Can you please raise your hand if you're the primary grocery shopper in your family? Oh, wow, a lot of you. All right. Imagine if your employer is offering an incentive plan as generous as this. Would that motivate you to change behavior? Raise your hand if that would or not. Okay, some of you would. So this is something that we are finding out with almost all of our clients, as well as in conferences like this, that financial incentives do jumpstart the behavior change process. But retaining that is a different ball game altogether. So financial incentives can get you started, but you need to get educated, very relevant, very pertinent, very personalized education to retain that behavior. So when we are talking about cooking classes are great. But how do you track how many people learned from cooking class? How can you track, did they really go home and cook the way they were taught? It's very hard to track those things. So what we have done is a little bit different. We have tried to create education which is personalized, relevant, and trackable to individuals, their spouses, and their kids based on the behaviors that they demonstrate. So the way it works is very simple. We roll out this benefit, just like we rolled out to Shield's employees. We encourage employees and their families to come onto the site or the mobile app, take out their grocery rewards card from the wallet, just like I can do right now. Link the card with your profile on Nutrisavings once. Or, if you are a shopper at farmer's market, come onto the site, identify the farmer's market where you shop. And once you do that, the connection is made that we can start doing education for employees. And eating does not only happen in kitchen. Eating happens in cafeterias, in office cafeteria also, that we learned from Desban example as well. So how can we educate employees on what exactly is healthy? So first and foremost thing is, not everybody is a nutritionist. I don't have a nutrition background, so I don't know what is healthy. Do you mind if I take this example? So when we buy any product like this, I don't know if this is healthy or not. It may say heart healthy, but that does not really mean that it is heart healthy. So what we have done is, we have taken all the food items, looked at their nutritional facts panel and the ingredients, worked with the panel of nutritionists and dietitians, created a scoring algorithm, thank you, that scores all the food items on a scale of 0 to 100. Higher the score, healthier the item. That suddenly becomes very relevant, very personalized education to all the employees, their spouses, and their kids. So when I'm going for grocery shopping, if I'm buying a cereal, oh, take out my phone, scan the barcode of a cereal, it scores 80. Aha, it is healthy for me. Education when I need it, when I'm buying food items. Second is, if I'm buying cereal and if my favorite brand is not available, what should I buy as an alternative? I don't know, I'm confused again. Again, take out my cell phone, scan bunch of barcode of cereals, I got another cereal scoring 79. Oh, okay, that's healthy enough for me. So that's an education that can be delivered to employees, their spouses, and their kids. Second, once they bring all these food items, they bought all the food items from the grocery stores, how do we cook these items? So we have option to link recipes pertinent to what you bought so you can cook healthy as well. Third, I have cooked the meal for my family, although I don't do the cooking in my family. We have cooked the meal in the family. Family had the meal. Now there are some leftovers. How can I preserve the leftovers? So there are educational articles that, again, educate employees and their families on how to preserve healthy food as well. So these are all the educational nuggets that we provide as a part of Nutrisavings. So that's what Nutrisavings does. So we have built an ecosystem that connects employees and their families nationwide with the grocery stores of their choice or farmers market where they go and do shopping for their favorite food items. And the connecting link are the grocery rewards card that you can use once, and there is no limit. If I shop at Stop and Shop and Shaw's and Hannaford, I can link all of those grocery cards. There is no limit that is stopping me from doing that. So education along with incentives create a motivating environment that is easier to retain from an employee standpoint to participate and to sustain their behavior change over the long haul. So the way it works is very simple, as Christine explained. We worked with Christine's team to create marketing communication. I'm going to show you some example of that. And once the communication was sent out, we went on-site at Gillette Stadium. So there was excitement to go to Gillette Stadium as well to do on-site enrollment sessions. And employees came on-site. They signed up. At this time of signing up, we had a fun raffle incentive going on at the same time that creates an element of fun. It's not that we are telling employees what to eat. You can eat whatever you like to eat. Just be aware this is how they score. So you can gradually change your behavior at the pace that you feel comfortable with. And that's how the program got rolled out. So there are multiple kinds of incentives that employees can earn. One incentive you already saw from Christine's slide was the incentive funded by Shields in this case. In some examples, a health plan may also want to throw some additional incentive. On top of the incentives from employers and health plan, there is also an option for employees to earn incentives from food manufacturers and grocery stores of their choice. And these incentives come in form of cashbacks. I know our friends from Hannaford are here in the audience today. I'd like to call them out. Hannaford was the first grocery store in the country to actually offer incentives on all Hannaford private label healthy food items. That took it to the next level altogether, number one. Number two, to take the communication to the next level, Hannaford was the first grocery store in the country to actually put in-store signage recommending members and shoppers to sign up for Nutrisavings while they check out. They went to the extent of training their sales cashiers to also remind the shoppers, hey, did you sign up for Nutrisavings? So that becomes a very powerful message. It's not just your employer saying that, it's the entire community which is nudging you in the right direction on how to start eating healthy. So this is an example. This is an example of a shopping trip. Imagine I went to Hannaford. I bought a bunch of items, which you're seeing the receipt on the left-hand side. All the food items got scored based on the nutritional score that I mentioned about. From 0 to 100, higher scoring item got a higher score. A little bit unhealthy item got a lower score. So in this shopping example, I got a shopping score of 73. So if I'm a Shields employee, I got my money because my average score need to be 50 or higher. I already exceeded that. And then comes the incentive part of things, which are the cashback. In this example, I earned around $5 from cashback from food manufacturers or grocery stores. But at the same time, Shields would have given me some other incentives. So in this one shopping trip, I learned so many things. Number one, how I ranked, how I fared for my family to put healthy food on the table. Second, I earned incentives. So that creates an engaging environment for employees to sustain that. So these are examples that we did for rolling out Nutrisavings with Shields employees. Christine and her team were outstanding. The few things that kind of stood out that are very particular to Shield that many employers may usually shy away from. One, allowing to communicate with employees on a regular basis. I think we heard from Dressbarn's story and from Michael also this morning We can communicate to employees as long as we want, but unless their internal clock ticks in, the message is not relevant for them. So when we are communicating to employees, if we communicate only once or twice, we are playing a probability theory, would I synchronize with the internal clock? But if we're communicating on a regular weekly basis, bi-weekly basis, you get a much higher aha moment going on in employees' heads. Oh, I should start eating healthy. Let me look at my email from last week. What did the email say? How can I sign up? That really helps. So Christina and her team took a leadership position that we need to communicate to our employees on a regular basis. Very important message. So with all the communication, this is the participation rate that we got. We rolled out in January. December was in HR people, Christina and a few other people on her team trying it out. We rolled it out in January. At the end of the month, we had 38% of employees actually signed up. Less than a month. And we are talking of 40 locations, Christine? 40 locations across all locations. And at the end of 5 months, we have close to around 50% people signed up, and it's growing month after month. So everybody likes to eat, no doubt about that part. But to be able to communicate, to have openness of an HR team to communicate to employees on a regular basis plays a huge role in marketing and communicating the benefit on an ongoing basis. So these are the timelines that we have seen. So we rolled out the benefit in January, and when we rolled out the benefit, we rolled it out only to employees that were insured by Shield's healthcare insurance. That was not all the employees. So after 5 months of the benefit, we saw around 50% of the employees signed up. Christine said, you know what? It makes logical sense for me to roll it out to every one of my employees because everyone eats. Everyone has a reason to save. So with Shield's generous incentive plan, Shield's employees who are insured by Shields have an option to save between $600 to $650 annually on eating healthy, on shopping healthy, that we already do anyways. So starting June 1st, we rolled out the benefit to all the employees so they can all take a benefit of that. And as a part of rolling out the benefit to all the employees, that posed some challenges in the sense that if I am not insured by Shield's health plan, my incentive is a little bit different than if I'm insured by Shield Health Plan because I don't have the employer incentives. So we are working with Christine's team right now to create other incentive strategies like raffles that we can do on a monthly basis, where we are not giving out maybe cash incentives, where you can do something and you can win a Hannaford grocery rewards card. You can win a Stop and Shop grocery rewards card based on these criteria. If you buy more fruits and vegetables, you can win the following things. You can have a raffle entry drawn into your name. So we are creating an incentive plan to engage employees who will not otherwise get the incentive from employer because they are not covered by insurance plan of the employer. Plus, we're also leveraging our existing set of participants, the 50% of the population, to let them be our spokespersons. So we have created some video testimonials that we are going to share with you, if you allow. And we are planning to use the same video testimonials for reaching out to the wider audience, because these are the stories that people can relate to. Some stories are funny, some stories are quirky, but different flavors. I don't know what is going to attract different people. So share all these things, put all these things together and send it out. So we are creating an employee intranet where it will be posted. We are posting it on YouTube. They'll be sending out by email. Multiple communication methods to engage employees with these testimonials.